the meeting filled with millennia-old wisdom between Confucius and Lao Tzu. Two sages from history, Lao Tzu and Confucius, once had a profound encounter, and their insightful words have left a legacy that has endured for thousands of years. Let us listen, reflect, and appreciate the hearts and wisdom of these ancient sages. One day in 538 BC, Confucius said to his disciple Nangong Jing Shu, "The Zhou Dynasty has Lao Dan, Lao Tzu, a man of vast knowledge, understanding both ancient and modern wisdom, who knows the origins of rites and music, and comprehends the essence of morality. Today, I wish to go to Zhou and seek his teachings. Would you like to come along?" Nangong Jing Shu gladly agreed and informed the king of Lu. The king allowed him to go, even providing him with a chariot, a servant, and a driver, and Nangong escorted Confucius on his journey. When Lao Tzu saw that Confucius had traveled a great distance to see him, he was overjoyed. Lao Tzu taught Confucius and introduced him to Master Chang Hong, an expert in music theory. Chang Hong instructed Confucius on musical laws and theory, and also took him to observe rituals of worship, explore religious sites, and learn about the customs in temples. Confucius was deeply moved and gained much knowledge from the experience. After staying for a few days, Confucius went to bid farewell to Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu accompanied him outside the guest house and said, "I have heard that the wealthy give others material gifts, and the virtuous give others their words. I am neither wealthy nor noble, so I have no riches to offer you, but I would like to give you a few words of advice. In our time, the intelligent and insightful often meet misfortune, even death, because they tend to mock others' faults. Those skilled in rhetoric and knowledgeable about affairs suffer continuous misfortune because they expose others' flaws. As a son, do not think yourself superior as a servant. Do not consider yourself above others. Remember this well." Confucius bowed and said, "I will surely remember this in my heart." Lao Tzu continued, "If you do not contend with others, no one in the world can contend with you. This is the virtue of water. Water is close to the Tao. The Tao is present everywhere, and water benefits all without contention. It avoids high places and flows to low places. Never opposing this natural course, it finds its proper place. In stillness, it is clear and tranquil. So deep it is immeasurable, a profound abyss. Though it gives without depletion and works without seeking reward, it excels in kindness. Circles will rotate, squares will break, obstructions will stop, and flows will continue. This is the virtue of trustworthiness. Therefore, a sage acts according to the times, and a wise person adapts to changing circumstances. The enlightened govern through non-action, and the accomplished follow the natural way of heaven. When you leave this time, you should abandon the arrogance in your words and expressions, and remove the desires from your appearance. Otherwise, your fame will precede you before you arrive, and your presence will be felt before your body reaches its destination." Confucius responded, "Your words, sir, come from the depths of your heart and have penetrated deep into mine. I have gained much benefit and will never forget it. I will follow them diligently without delay, in gratitude for your kindness." With that, Confucius bade Lao Tzu farewell, got into his chariot with Nangong Jing Shu, and departed for the state of Lu. Lao Tzu said, "To see the great Tao, one must first return the mind to the origin of all things. Within heaven and earth, outside the universe, heaven, earth, people, animals, the sun, moon, mountains, and rivers, then rivers, though their forms and natures differ, they all follow the natural cycle of birth and death. They all follow nature in their movement and stillness. Knowing their differences is seeing their external forms. Knowing their sameness is understanding their essence. When you set aside their differences and observe their sameness, you can return your mind to the origin of things. The origin of things is chaotic, yet unified it has no form, no nature, and no differences. Confucius asked, "In observing their sameness, what joy can be found?" Lao Tzu replied, "In observing their sameness, you realize that all things are the same. All things and I are the same, as are right and wrong. Thus, life and death can be viewed as day and night. Fortune and misfortune are the same, as are good and bad luck. There is no distinction between noble and humble, no honor and no disgrace, so where is there not joy?" Lao Tzu saw that Confucius had entered the gate of the great Tao and said confidently, "A sage lives in the world, encountering events without going against the Tao. Events come and go, but they follow the natural order. A person who can harmonize with nature is a person of virtue. A person who can adapt to the times is a person who has attained the Tao." Confucius, hearing this, felt as if he were drifting like clouds, carried by the wind, or like water flowing, following the currents. He joyfully exclaimed, "How free and relaxed! It's like drifting in a boat on the sea or riding in a carriage on the road." To advance and to stop, one does not boast of their own strength to drive the boat or the carriage. A gentleman's nature is no different. They excel at borrowing from things to understand the Tao. The person who has attained the Tao sees life and death as one path, living peacefully and dying in repose. Right and wrong are unified. What is right is not entirely right, and what is wrong is not entirely wrong. Honor and disgrace are the same. Neither honor is truly honorable, nor disgrace truly disgraceful. Why is this so? Standing at the great Tao, one sees the root of all things: life and death, right and wrong, nobility and humility, honor and disgrace. All are human-created values that can change in an instant. Tracing their origins reveals their unity. Understanding this great Tao allows one to follow its changes without being troubled by them. The sun and moon will continue to alternate. The earth will shake, the winds will howl, and the sea will roar, but one will still live in peace and joy. Yang Zizhu, a disciple of Lao Tzu, said, "Master, you cultivate yourself by sitting calmly, walking slowly, eating modestly, and sleeping quietly. Without a secluded house in the deep woods, how can this be achieved? A secluded house in the deep woods, without servants and tools, how can one live there? If you hire servants and furnish the house with tools, how can you maintain your household?" Lao Tzu laughed and replied, "The great Tao is natural. Why force yourself into stillness? Acting without seeking, one naturally becomes calm. Eating without luxury, one naturally becomes pure. Sleeping without desire, one naturally becomes at peace. Why is it necessary to have a house in the deep woods to cultivate oneself? When hungry, eat when tired, rest when the sun rises, work when the sun sets, sleep. Why is it necessary to have servants at home? Following nature and practicing non-action, the spirit is at peace and the body is healthy. Opposing nature in pursuit of profit, the spirit is troubled and the body suffers." Lao Tzu said, "A gentleman lives with others like ice melting in water, works with others humbly like a servant, pure and spotless, as if soiled, full of virtue yet appearing ordinary." Yang Zizhu, upon hearing this, corrected his former arrogance, becoming neither proud nor overly humble, neither arrogant nor flattering in speech. Lao Tzu praised him, "You have made some progress. Humans, born of their parents, standing between heaven and earth, are one of the natural beings. To value oneself and despise other things is against nature. To value others and despise oneself is against one's true nature. Viewing all things equally, all things and I are one. Following the natural order in action, relying on it to stop, speaking and acting naturally, this is in accordance with the Tao." Lao Tzu said, The way of nurturing life lies in a tranquil spirit and a clear mind. A person with a tranquil spirit and a clear mind cleanses the impurities from their heart. The impurities of the heart are desire and the pursuit of knowledge. Letting go of desire and the pursuit of knowledge brings peace to the heart. A peaceful heart naturally balances activity and stillness. When the heart is free from entanglements, one sleeps when it is time to sleep, wakes when it is time to wake, acts when it is time to act, and stops when it is time to stop. External things cannot disturb such a heart. Therefore, the path of learning the Tao is to eliminate both internal and external distractions. A person who has attained the Tao forgets both the internal and the external. The internal is the heart, and the external is material things. Eliminating both, one lets go of desire and pursuit internally and external material temptations. From elimination comes forgetting, and from forgetting, internal and external become one. Returning to nature, this is achieving the great Tao. These days, your every thought is on learning the Tao, which is also a form of desire and pursuit. Eliminating the desire to pursue the Tao will naturally calm the mind. With a calm mind, the great Tao can be cultivated. Lao Tzu said, "The scripture for nurturing life lies in nature. Movement has no direction, stillness has no intention. It bends with things, flows with the waves, moves with the virtue of yang, and stills with the current of yin. It moves like water, it stills like a mirror, it responds like an echo. This is the scripture of nurturing life." Nam Vin asked, "Is this the perfect state?" Lao Tzu replied, "No, this is only the beginning of dissolving the self and merging with nature. If one reaches the perfect state, living on earth with beasts feels no lower, playing in the heavens with immortals feels no higher. Action is without novelty, stillness is without planning, movement is without effort, arriving without seeking, departing without desire." Nam Vin asked, "Then is this the highest state?" Lao Tzu said, "Not yet. When the body is between heaven and earth, it is like dry branches and withered trees. When the mind is within the form, it is like burnt leaves and cold ashes. In such a state, the blazing sun feels no heat, the snow-covered ice feels no cold, swords cannot wound, tigers cannot harm. In such a state, neither misfortune nor fortune can affect you, and you forget both suffering and joy." Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. We love hearing from you, so drop a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you have. Your feedback helps us create better content for you. See you in the next video.